Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to our channel, we say thank you so much for stopping by. To our returning subscribers, we appreciate the love. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how I made this gadget skirt for a 7 to 8 year old child. This skirt is actually belted and has a placket in the midsection. This skirt was made out of a corduroy fabric. So if you are interested in learning how to make this skirt, then let's get started. So I have here my fabric pieces. I have two fabrics on fold. I'll be using one for the front and one for the back, and this is actually the very soft kind of fabric. So the folded side of my fabric is towards me this way, and then I have 4 pieces at the edge here. The length of this fabric is 24 inches and then the width is 18 inches. Remember, this fabric is on fold. So I'm going to separate the 2 pieces of fabric so that I can work on the front skirt. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the front. I'm going to fold it into 2, and after folding, I'm going to give the midsection a notch on the top and then the bottom side. This is where I intend to place my placket. So I'll go ahead and then unfold the fabric again, and then with the help of a ruler, I'll connect a straight line from the notch at the top to the one at the bottom. So I'm going to measure half an inch on both sides of this line, and after marking this half inch, I will connect a straight line from the top to the bottom as well. This is where my placket is going to sit, and my placket is going to be 1 inch in width. So I'm going to be placing the back piece of this skirt onto the front piece, right sides facing one another, and then I will just pin one side of this skirt from the top to the bottom. So I'm pinning so that I can hold this fabric in position, and then after pinning, I'll head to my sewing machine and then stitch this side down on half an inch. So I'm done stitching. Take a look at it. So I just stitched just a side, the other side has not been stitched down. So I'll head back to the midsection where we drew our placket lines. And then I have this tiny strip of fabric I'll be using for the placket. The fabric is actually on fold. The width of this strip of fabric is 1.5 inches. And then the length is 25 inches. So I'll trim off any excess when I'm done. So I'm going to turn the rough edges to the first line we drew on this skirt. Then I'll go ahead and then pin it down on this first line. So once I'm done pinning, I'll head back to my sewing machine and then stitch this down on 1/4 of an inch. So I've stitched this down. Take a look at it. It is looking so neat and beautiful. So I'll just lay this placket back onto the other line we drew and also pin it down, head to my sewing machine, and then stitch very close to the edge of this placket onto the skirt. So we have successfully created our placket. This is what it looks like. Remember to give it a very good press. I have turned the fabric to the wrong side. This is the wrong side. I marked 2.75 inches from the top of this skirt down. I went ahead to mark it from one end of the fabric to the other end. So I'm going to fold about 1/4 of an inch at the top and fold back to touch this 2.75 inch mark made on the top of this skirt. Then I would pin the fabric down. So I'm actually creating the channel through which we'll be passing our elastic. So I'll pin from the midsection through to one side and also repeat the same process for the other side of the skirt to create this channel. Then I'll head to my sewing machine and then stitch this down. So I'm done stitching it down. Look at the channel. I gave it a good press as well. And then the side seam that I stitched down, I gave it a good press as well. Remember to do this so that your side seam will lie flat. So the next I'm going to do is I'll align the side fabrics together, and then I would come in with my elastic band. So this is the elastic. The elastic is 1 inch in width and then 21.5 inches in length. So I will just pass this elastic through the channel we created at the top of this skirt. So I'm going to do that with the aid of my pin, my safety pin. As I'm passing it through the channel, I'll be evening out the gathers as well to create a very beautiful, well-controlled gathers at the top. So when I'm done passing this elastic through, at both sides of this skirt, I will head back to my sewing machine and then stitch the elastic down onto the fabric, just on the sides. So this is what it looks like. I have stitched the sides of this skirt to the elastic. So I'm going to put the sides together and then head back to my sewing machine, stitch this down on 1/2 inch. So after stitching the sides, this is what my skirt looks like. We are almost done with this skirt. So I made these tiny loops that I'll be placing on the side to serve as the channel through which I'll be passing my belt. So this strip is about 4 inches in length. I'm going to head to my sewing machine and then stitch the loops on the sides of this skirt. I have this long strip of fabric I'll be using to create this belt. So to make this belt, you need at least thrice the measurement of the waist, and then the width of this belt is 3 inches. So I'll just fold the fabric piece together this way, and then I'll go to my sewing machine, stitch it down, and then turn it inside out, and we have our belt. So our belt is ready. Our loops have been fixed on the sides, and then I went ahead to put this belt through the loops, and we are almost there. So the next I'll do is to finish off the hem of this skirt. I'll just fold it in 1/2 inch. I'll do that twice, and then I'll stitch it down. And I have these buttons I'll be using to decorate the placket of this skirt. I have 3. You can add as many as you want. So I'll just place them on this skirt, even them out, and then use my needle and my thread to stitch them down on this skirt. And we are done with making this skirt. Look at how beautiful it turned out. Thank you so much for making time to watch this video. Please give it a try and then let me hear from you in the comment section. This is how the back of this skirt also looks like. You can pair it with a shirt, a t-shirt, and then style it accordingly. Thank you so much for making time to watch this video. We'll see you in our next video.